Welcome back, you guys. To keep things real, I nearly forgot that there was a game on tomorrow night, 8 PM. Of course, we are playing against Brighton, but naturally, you guys, due to the massive news, some of the biggest news I've read in years surrounding the European Super League, I think that's rightfully dominating the football conversation right now. A part of me feels like to push through something like this during a COVID era where, fans aren't in the stadium. Where was the fans saying this? Just completely taking control away from us to just force through something that no one has even had time to think about. It doesn't sit right with me, you guys, but the reality is, however, there are only 7 games left this season, and does it really matter if we qualify for Champions League football right now? I guess it still does by this season's terms, and to be honest, based on our good form this season, especially under Tuchel's arrival, I'm hoping that we can continue that momentum of success all the way to the end of the season where, one solace would be picking up silverware come the end of the season. So tomorrow we have a game against Brighton, and I think now's the perfect time to look at our opponents in tomorrow's game. They are currently 16th in the Premier League table, and they drew their last game against Everton. Regardless though, their past 6 games, they picked up 2 wins. They've obviously lost quite a few, and they've drawn as well, and for me, I do like Brighton. I think defensively, they're strong. In midfield, they're very strong as well when it comes to many aspects of their game. The build-up phase, in a positional play, how they defend off the ball, it's good. But one thing where all of Brighton's good work just absolutely collapses is when it comes to converting all this build-up and this work rate into goals and creating opportunities. And that is one thing that they just can't do with too much quality consistently. They currently have injuries to key players such as Solly March, of course Lamptey as well, and very skillful South African player in Percy Tau. But I don't know, you guys, forgive my energy in this preview. Obviously the news is so mad that it's been really taking up a lot of my focus and attention today. As I said, there is going to be a ton more videos to come out, but I guess all I can hope for is that this news doesn't distract the team too much for the game tomorrow. I guess we still have to achieve our objectives. I guess we still have to get a top 4 spot still, because I guess Lampard's sacking can't be in vain. It's a very surreal time to be a football fan right now, and I recommend that you guys watch my video that I released earlier today, just breaking down everything that's happened and why the club signed for the Super League. So I hope you guys enjoy. Help me get 2K likes for today's video. Now we start things with a press conference, and I'm sure that Tuchel was not looking forward to this one at all. He saw the news happening yesterday as it was breaking. This would have been the longest press conference he's done, and naturally ESL news dominated the press conference today. So before I get into that though, let's talk about the brief team news first. We found out that of course Christensen should be okay for tomorrow's game. Thiago Silva is okay, but probably won't be taking any part. And on top of that too, Cover is still out with an injury. Naturally, Tuchel was asked about how he's using Tammy Abraham, and I guess Tuchel's words were quite positive. He was saying that one thing that he really rates about Tammy is that he has a very confident demeanor. He is still putting in the work in training. His professionalism has been very good, and actually Tuchel sympathizes with Tammy quite a lot. Tuchel is proud of his reaction, as well as the reaction of other players such as Kepa and Emerson too. So for me, this is just standard manager talk. I really don't think that Tuchel really is as impressed by Tammy for whatever reason, and who knows, it would be a big surprise if we saw Tammy taking any part in the game tomorrow. But to continue on, you guys, with the ESL news, now Tuchel was asked to give his reaction to this news, and basically he said that he's only focusing on the game tomorrow. He said that he is part of the club and he trusts the club to make the right decisions. However, at this point in time, it's too early to make any fair judgments just yet. So to continue on, Tuchel was asked about how the team reacted to this news, with Tuchel saying that he only knew about the news from yesterday. He hasn't seen the players yet because they were able to get more extra time after their game against Man City, and that he's hoping that they get more time to recover now and that they'll be fit and ready for the game tomorrow. So, to continue on again, more ESL news. This time, Tuchel was asked to give more thoughts and impressions on the story, and he re-emphasized how he really trusts the club wholeheartedly. Now, I think it is safe to say that Tuchel, of course, naturally, when he got this job, he had to be very rosy with the boards. Of course, he's in a position where he's not going to jeopardize his future and all the hard work that he's done so far, and I get the impression and vibe too that maybe one thing that Tuchel's learned as a manager himself over the years, after being in many type of disagreements with board members at Dortmund and at Paris Saint-Germain, is that in the end, it isn't worth it. In the end, you're only here and your merit's based on what you produce in the short term. What happens after that doesn't really matter. So why end up just rocking the boat when you don't have to? Do the role you have to do, fulfill your job, move on and continue the cycle, I guess. So, I do get it, but also at the same time, we can't forget that Tuchel in 2016 was also speaking about the European Super League, being open to the idea, thinking, whatever creates more entertainment for the fans is something that should be obviously looked into. But of course, this was like nearly 5 years ago. I'm sure his thoughts and opinions have definitely changed. We'll find out more, I'm hoping, as time does go on. But to be honest, I'm going to end things here. Yeah, this was a difficult press conference with Tuchel. I thought he was very professional, to be honest. And as I'm saying, I'm really hoping to hear more of his honest thoughts and takes, hopefully, as time goes on. Because naturally, with things being so fresh and raw, it'd be quite hard for him to give his honest, raw takes just like that. But now, you guys, we now move on to the predicted lineup part for today's preview. And as we know, Cover won't be taking any part. Now, with our opponents tomorrow against Brighton, there is definitely the time now to rotate the team slightly. Now, could we see maybe a shock surprise for Tammy Abraham to feature in the team and play? I'd like to see that. I'd like to see him being given his opportunities. However, I feel like there could be smart rotations used in the wing-back positions. Now, I think against Brighton, against teams like us, they like to play off the ball more. They like to defend more. So I think it's imperative that we use a very strong attacking team for the game tomorrow. And now I'm going to start off by giving my predictions for the first predicted lineup. Alongside him, I've gone for Hakim Ziyech and I've gone for Christian Pulisic. Wingbacks, I've gone for Hudson-Odoi and Marcus Alonso. In midfield, I've gone for Kante and Jorginho too. In defence, I've gone for Rudiger, I've gone for Zuma, I've gone for Aspi, and I've gone for Mendy in goal as well. Now, my thinking behind leaving out Mason Mount is that he's played a ton of games. Right now, we're very short when it comes to midfield options, and I do think that Mount coming on could be, that player that he used to replace an N'Golo Kante or a Jorginho in the team as the game's going on. So based on the consecutive games he's been playing and the intensity he's been playing with, I feel like he doesn't necessarily have to start this game, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him having some involvement as the game does go on. Now, I've gone for Hakim Ziyech in this game because I feel like his creative passing, that penetrative passing between the lines, the skill, the moments, it's needed. For sure it's needed, and I like to see him this time playing some of his customary passes to Christian Pulisic. Now, I was going to go for Timo Werner, however, I do think that getting the first goal is important, and to be honest, I just can't rely upon Timo as much as I'd like to at this point in time. So that's really my ideas behind the attack. Wingbacks, I've gone for Hudson-Odoi. I think Reece James can do a little bit of a rest right now. He'll probably come on to replace him as time goes on, but in a game like this, I want Callum getting in behind. I want him being direct. I want that pace. I want him stretching the players well, and I like his little link up alongside Hakim Ziyech. That could be quite nice down the right hand sides. And for the rest of the team, I've gone for Kurt Zouma because I think he's been quite good against teams like Brighton, having that benefit and that bonus of his set piece prowess. We don't score that many goals. Let's keep it real. And I think that, what he brings from set pieces is something that can't be ignored. And we can't afford to slip up anymore. Ideally, we need to win most of our games before the season ends. And let's see what happens, you guys. So that's my first predicted lineup out the way. We now move on to the second one. And in this team, I nearly went for Tammy in the team, but I just don't see it happening, really. I don't think Tammy will even start a game before the season ends. So up front again, I've gone for Kai Havertz. Now alongside him, I've gone for Timo Werner in this team, and I've gone for Hakim Ziyech. Wing backs, I've gone for Hudson-Odoi. I've gone for Ben. In midfield, I've gone for Kante and Jorginho. And in defence, I've gone for Rudiger. I've gone for Christensen and Azpilicueta with Mendy in goal. Now, I'm putting Christensen in this team because Tuchel mentioned that Christensen is good for the game, and I guess maybe this could imply that he does start. Up front, I've gone for Timo Werner. Now, you know, for this lineup, I'm thinking we have seen a good understanding between Werner and Hakim Ziyech, and I'm sure maybe this is something Tuchel himself has noticed as well. So it'll be nice to see them, you know, continue to develop the understanding and relationship even more. I think that for Werner to work, he really relies upon the service of what Hakim Ziyech can do, and yeah, this could be quite useful against a team like Brighton. Now, again, the only con in which you're using Timo Werner is the fact that if Brighton, who might be matching us formation, you know, who might be sitting back even deeper, most likely defending, the spaces are going to be restricted, and we do know that Werner doesn't necessarily excel when there's not as much space to play in. So I definitely feel like this could be a bit of a risk if he was to start. I think he could be more useful as the game opens up even more, to be honest. But yeah, that is the second lineup out of the way. You guys in the comments below, what do you think of the lineups? If you don't agree with them, state your lineup in the comments and let us know who that is. And to end with things, I'm going to give you guys my match prediction, and for my predicted score, I'm going to be going for a 2-0 win. Now, I'd love to go for more goals, but I think right now I'm curious to see what the reaction is going to be like from the players. Of course, this has big ramifications for themselves as well, and to not maybe be kept in the loop as well, it could be quite concerning. I got the impression that maybe this is something that Tuchel is thinking of in the back of his head. I mean, he works with these guys, he knows them, he knows the reaction more than we do, of course, and the fact that Tuchel mentioned that maybe 2-3 times in this conference that this could be a potential distraction tells me to maybe be a bit more realistic. I love to think we have enough in us though to win the game. I think we have to, but at the same time, maybe this could galvanize the teams outside the top 6 and, you know, really get them to target us and teams in our category even more. So yeah, football comes back so quickly after news like this. It is pretty surreal, but I guess that's just how the game is, you guys. So on that note, I'm gonna wrap things up, keep things moving. Thank you for watching. I'm the EFC, this is Blue Lions TV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Peace.